All right, so this sequence is great to start to get yourself prepped to go into a full wheel extension in yoga, or it's great just to open up your shoulders and back after sitting on this ball all day at your home office. All right, so let's start first with just a gentle warm up. You can take your feet up against the wall, or you can do this on the mat. It can be easier up against the wall, so I'm just going to show it like that. All right. Coming just like this, placing your feet flat, and then allowing yourself to come up. Okay, and the wall is just there if you feel a little unstable. It's like a little stopper for your feet. And then from here, take the hands behind the back of the head and roll yourself back any amount. And then bring it forward. And coming back. And bringing it forward and starting to notice where that stretch is taking place in the back. And forward, good. And then from here, go ahead, we can bring ourselves off of this and take a little bit of a forward fold to counter it. Now to stretch out the lower back, right, to find the length in the lower back, you can just bring your tummy directly on top of this. Notice my knees are right up against the edge, and I'm just going to let my head release down. And then I'm holding into this posture and breathing into the lower back. And the longer you stay, the more you'll kind of just let it release here. And you can also start to maybe move it forward, resting on the forearms. No need to lift the feet up. Again, you're just stretching. You should feel it in the lower back, the sides of the waist. And you can go a little bit more forward. Each little movement is going to just change that angle of the stretch. Now from here, we're going to turn this into a little bit of a back extension. So roll back a little bit. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, push through the heels, and then lift up and open the chest. And you can roll it forward and back onto the tips of the toes. This is actually kind of a nice stretch for the calves too, pushing the heels back. And then from here, you can bring the arms back down and let yourself just release and breathe into the lower back. No need to do anything. No need to activate the knees at all or the legs at all. Just let the knees drape over. And again, I'm just showing you a very shortened sequence. You can certainly, as you learn the moves, start to play with it and take more time in one or the other, anything like that. Okay, and the next part is just to open up the shoulders and the back body. Okay, so I'm going to come to a kneeling position. And starting to stretch it back, just like this. Now, if this is too intense, go back to that first one with your feet flat on the floor. Otherwise, reaching back, letting the arms just dangle off. And kind of just breathing into the sides of the waist, breathing into the fronts of the hips. A lot of times, especially if you're talking about wheel posture, sometimes it can be about tightness in the fronts of the hips. And this is also opening up through the shoulders. And again, you would hold here for as long as you felt comfortable or as long as you felt it was doing something. And then go ahead, as you're ready, you're going to slide yourself off. So now my feet are out to the side and I'm just going to lean back and I'm going to take my arms up and over. So now I'm playing specifically with shoulder opening. So I'm going to let my arms reach out and kind of play with little butterfly wings out to the sides. And as I'm doing that, I'll find different angles in the chest to open up. And you should really be feeling it in the thoracic spine, which is the spine, the part of the back that's kind of the rounded back as opposed to arched, right? So it's not the lower back and it's not the neck. The lower back should feel pretty supported here. If it feels like it's going into extension, it probably means the ball needs to be closer in towards you. Okay, and you can always hold, right? Maybe just holding opposite elbows here to get that stretch through the sides of the lungs, the fronts of the lungs. And taking it out to the sides, whatever angle feels good for you. And then to come out of this, bringing yourself up, placing your feet flat. Now, I personally like to end with that forward fold over the ball after having done that. So I'll alternate between the two things of opening the back and then kind of closing it again to get all that movement. So we're going to do that one more time with the feet coming around, bring the torso forward, and just letting yourself release here. And then as you start to kind of play with this ball more, you can start to move into this. We can do another little strengthening exercise, taking your arms out and right underneath your shoulders, okay? And then from here, rolling to the hips and lifting up the legs. Reach through the toes, reach them long. And then let them come back down, rolling to the tummy again. And again, rolling back up. And then as you're playing with this, maybe you reach one leg away and then the other, kind of stretching both fronts of the hips here. And then go ahead and releasing and just let yourself soften over that ball again. And then go ahead and release.